Getting back to like the habits and the things you believed, even if science is like disproved it.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys have like any like wives' tales or like any habits that was formed from basically at a childhood age where like your parents said something?
Oh, yeah.
and you did it as a kid because your mum or dad said so.
Dude, I have a Japanese grandma. They are nothing but wives' tales.
So to this day, like whenever I get ill, right, I eat a shit ton of oranges, right? Like I eat like a pack of oranges.
I know
Oranges
a day,
a lot of people
right?
do that.
And like because when I was young, my mum said, "Oh, vitamin C is good for the immune system."
Where did this come from?
I don't know where that came from. I'm pretty sure there is some science back to it, but like I think I read into it once. And yes, vitamin C does improve the immune system, but that's like one, I believe. Okay, this is all my memory, so please fact check this.
It also might have just been Garn's house.
It might have just been my household, but one, I believe that's to like prevent illness, so it like boosts your immune system, so it's a more healthy immune system. And two, there's only so much vitamin C intake you can do to really have a big effect on your immune system.
Yeah.
So, but like that doesn't matter in my mind, because in my mind I'm like, I've been conditioned to think I am ill. I need to eat a shit ton of oranges to intake this vitamin C to have these fucking.
It's basically just like a Pavlovian effect.
Right.
It's like it coughs once. Where are the oranges? That's so weird because in my house it was if you were starting to get sick or you were sick, my mom and my granddad, my grandma, especially my grandma, would make me eat a shitload of ginger and spring onion. I don't know why. It just seems like a healthy alternative.
Yeah,
but then,
Ginger's one of those things where it has that taste to it that you're like, this has to be healthy. I don't know why, but this has to.
It's because it tastes.
No one else is gonna eat this.
It's because it tastes like medicine.
Yeah.
Like it tastes like medicine before even like being put in a dish.
Yeah, another one I had a lot was like if I got like a cut on like my knee or something. Then my grandma would tell me to put wasabi on it.
What the
fuck? That's a very famous Japanese one, though. A lot of.
What?
That's a very famous
where
Japanese
did that
household.
come from?
I don't know. Maybe it's because like when you put like an antiseptic on, right, and it starts to sting.
Yeah.
But that means it's like killing the bacteria, right?
Yeah.
So someone probably thought, well, wasabi does that regularly.
Is that where the stinging comes? I don't think the stinging is part of killing bacteria. I think that's just like an effect.
I don't know if that's even a wives' tale either. But like I did
sure
like when I was little, like I was running around in the park and then I fucking slid and scratched my knee.
Yeah.
And it was fine until I got home and my grandma saw it and was like, "Oh fuck, we gotta patch you up, dog." So then she went into the kitchen. I was like, "The bandages are over here." She's like, "No, I got this." Pulls out a fucking tube of wasabi, and I was like, "Grandmother, what are you doing?"
Oh no!
And she's like, "All right, just hold still." Just like fucking pulls, squirts some onto a finger, and just starts like rubbing my knee. And that shit hurts.
No fucking
like
shit.
a lot. And I wouldn't exactly say it worked. If anything, it just added an extra step of, now it hurts, and I have to shower. To get this
and it burns now.
And it burns my regular skin that's not affected by the cut.
Awful.
So that was the moment where I was like, Grandma, you should probably like, read up on like some, basic first aid.
I'm just wondering where that started from, because like I can imagine it's something similar to like putting salt on a wound, right? Which is, it sterilizes the wound as well as it could do.
Does it? I thought it was just painful.
No, it does.
I think
Can we Google this?
I don't know.
By the way, wasabi is somewhat antibacterial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if I pissed on your leg, it'd be somewhat antibacterial. Problem is that this is the problem when these things get some form of like, it's like, you're 1% right, 1% right, 1% right. I heard right.
I better add that to my 5-minute daily life hacks. Then.
Yeah, is salt like a kind of like an antiseptic?
Supposedly creates conditions that make it difficult for bacteria to grow.
Supposedly,
probably written by the same person who said
Oh my God,
wasabi was it as
actually,
well.
this
I thought salt in the wound was you did that because you wanted to like be painful, like you would like torture someone.
What?
It was,
What do you mean?
What, do you think it's like people in the penal image?
That's why we say salt on the wound. Because it's like, all right, let's say I fucked you over. To put salt on the wound, I'll do extra damage. You do it to fuck someone over.
It is painful, but I'm pretty sure.
Where did it originate from? Salt on the wound. Can you Google this? I'm pretty sure it's not medical or anything. It's like it's to add more pain to someone.
I mean, I think it came from like salt is like a preserver, right? So it kind of makes it hard for bacteria to grow.
It preserves the wound.
No. This is complete bullshit. You're making this up now.
Okay, actually, I don't know where I know this from,
you're just
but
making shit up.
The idiom means what you think it means.
Yeah,
it's worse for something.
Yeah.
It's not. It has no medical. Step on the crack, break your mother's back. No, that is not how that works. It just rhymes. You think that medical things happen to exist because they rhyme?
I'm actually curious. Where? Okay, is it so?
God,
does putting salt on a wound make it worse at all? Does it do
It
anything?
does make it hurt more.
Yeah, I know that. I know
It
that.
hurt more, but it's also like, it makes it difficult for bacteria to grow. So it does have.
Yeah.
It makes it difficult. It's so vague though. That's like there's a difference between a treatment and something.
Yeah,
that
just
makes
put some antiseptic on it.
I'm sure if I cut my leg off, it'd be harder for me to walk. Like it's
Put some salt in it.
Yeah, but that's why like you wash wounds with like saline solution as well.
Yeah, you don't do it with salt.
Saline solution.
Yeah, but saline solution is salt water.
Yeah, it's salt water. That's.
Yeah, but you don't put on those like the fucking rocks, rubbing it in there.
No, we don't. That's not what I said.
The saying isn't put saline on the.
I cut my leg.
Put some saline.
All I'm saying is, if I'm like lost in the wilderness or something, and I'm like fucking miles away from
Or in the Himalayas,
civilization,
put some rock salt on it.
yeah, just like
all over the
grind
place.
up a bit of rock salt and just sprinkle it on.
Japan though is full of so many of those kinds of idioms.
But I feel
where
like
it's like
taking medical advice from idioms and.
Oh no,
Yeah,
of course
no,
not.
superstitions.
But like, there's a lot of like idioms like that, especially in Japan, where it's like one of them
Yeah.
that my grandma used to tell me all the fucking time was like, don't whistle at night because snakes will come.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until a couple of years later I found out snakes are deaf. So,
Yeah.
and then I started whistling like a motherfucker during the nighttime. So it's like, where do they come from? I don't know.
It's like like I said, step on the crack, break your
mother's back. Yeah.
Why? Okay, and as a kid, I was when I'd heard this, I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
How
that's
fragile
dumb.
is my
That's
mother's
dumb.
back?
I was like, I've stepped on many cracks intentionally after hearing this to test the theory out. Am I a bad person? Probably.
You go home, your mum's just like writhing on the ground.
Oh no!
Oh no, mama!
Think about how much everyone has collectively stepped on a crack at some point. Isn't
Yeah.
the Earth just one big crack? It's all one big tectonic plate.
Also, what
Whole Japan is a crack.
Also, what defines as a crack? Like, if I were to step on an ass crack, would I still break my mother's back? Or
I'm pretty sure.
so bend over for a second.
But wow, how amazing how this scientific fact actually just rhymes as well.
Yeah, wow.
Amazing. Also, but other stuff that I don't really believe in anything like that. And even as a kid, I remember that whenever I heard these, I was like, no, that doesn't sound right.
Like what?
Like a cat crossing under going under a ladder.
Oh, yeah. Or a
it's
black
bad
cat
luck.
crossing your path is bad luck.
I think that's more like superstition, though.
That's a
right?
superstition, yeah.
That's
Well, what do you? Is chugging a bunch of oranges not superstition?
I guess so.
It
guess
is.
so.
They're all superstitions.
I don't know if.
Wait, what's the
You just
difference?
want to copium it.
What's the difference
I
between a
am
superstition and an idiom?
So, well, idioms are more to explain, like it's pigs,
Oh, like an example.
raining cats and dogs. Is an
Oh,
idiom.
I
okay,
see. I see.
That's an idiom.
Okay.
But
Oh yeah, so yeah, all of these. Replace idiom with
There's- there's
superstitions.
superstitions.
Yeah, these are all superstitions.
yeah, because I guess it's superstitious of you
Yeah.
to consume a bunch of oranges in the hope that it'll cure your illness. Right? That's superstitious.
I feel
You
like
have
there's another word.
You
for
have
it.
no, because it's purely
Bullshit.
no, because it's purely based on like hearsay and information you've heard and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
But I feel like
They're
there's.
called folk remedies.
Yeah,
It's all superstitious, though, right? That's what it originates from. It's all underneath that, right?
Alternative medicine.
I feel
perhaps?
like it's come from like someone's experience that has been passed down. Superstition feels more like supernatural, right? Where like opening up your umbrella indoors is good. It's bad luck. I don't know where that came
Yeah.
from, but like at least like
I don't do that anyway, because why would you do that? That's
Yeah,
why,
yeah,
Why
yeah.
are you opening indoors?
Well, like what if you're in like an umbrella store and you want to test it out, right?
yeah.
They have umbrella stores?
Yeah, in Japan.
You never get to open it, though, do you?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cracking that bad boy open.
Yeah,
in the
I
store.
cracked that bad boy.
That's, come on, man. If I'm in my own house, come on. Man.
And then every middle-aged woman in that store looked at me like superstition.
I don't think they believe in that in Japan, though.
A lot of people do.
Do they really?
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I feel like in Asia, the culture around superstition is like very prevalent.
Because
I feel like
everything
they
is
don't call it superstitious.
Yeah.
It has some kind of merit to it.
well,
I don't
because
think it does.
everything like because the whole belief system is very like spiritual based, right? So I think
Yeah,
a lot of
there's like
superstitions are more widely believed.
there's like I'd say a scale of like
Yeah.
stepping on a crack will break your mother's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
definitely
that's
in
like-
the
that's-
lower end of
Well,
believability.
yeah.
Whereas maybe I've heard this from many people, the vitamin C thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it has any merit. I don't know if it does.
I don't
might
know.
have
It's just
some.
like there is some like really basic logic around it that you're like, I can kind of see that.
It's
I'm
like
just-
saying it's like I have this theory that drinking water will help me feel better, and it's like you're right, but I feel like you're vastly like oversimplifying
well,
the
it's kind of like the
situation,
same thing
right?
with say you like your experience with like Manuka honey, right? I'm just like,
Yeah, that is superstitious.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
entirely.
I'm just like, is there any science behind that? But like when I had COVID, I was like fucking spooning this Manuka honey like nobody's business.
like a
it actually like helped my throat.
That's
Like
what's it called?
it felt a lot better.
What's it called? The placebo.
Placebo.
Yeah,
It
placebo.
could be.
That's like a placebo.
It could
effect,
be.
which is like I'd argue is a branch of the superstitious tree.
Because I actually remember.
The placebo effect. Placebo is the documented effect that it actually has an effect.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
As in your brain is making up for some
Yeah.
form of fucking thing that you
Well,
think.
placebo is so interesting
God,
because it's
so
like
annoying.
it hasn't been like properly studied, and a lot of scientists reckon, and like a lot of psychologists reckon there is like something legitimate there, but we just
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Because we don't know what the fuck is happening.
Because it's like we don't know if it's actually a thing that works or if it's just coincidence.
Yeah. Like
Well,
The placebo effect does work. We just don't know how.
yeah, we don't.
Yeah,
know.
we don't know how
it's,
it
it's
works.
documented. It's like the whole. Remember the light flashing before your eyes thing?
Yeah.
And how I was telling you guys recently, there was an article that said they were scanning someone's brain on a table, just collecting scans. We didn't talk about this on the podcast. We talked about it in the taxi. I remember this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I got a good memory.
I
for
was
this.
just like-
I've got like a catalog of the topics that we talked about. Because Joey mentioned the superstitious. We'd mentioned that in an episode before. I knew that, but Joey didn't go on it for too long, so I was like, I won't say anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guy was getting a brain scan, right?
Right.
And you know, he's having a regular scan brain, checking what's going on in the brain. Oh, well, what's going on there? And during this generic scan that they were doing, the guy died of a heart attack. And whilst they were scanning him while he was dying, I assume they tried to help him. I assume they didn't just leave him like, no, hold on. Let's keep
like,
scanning.
hold on, this data's
hold
lit.
on. The data. They did find out that apparently right before he died, the part of his brain that was responsible for memories was like firing like crazy.
Yeah.
Which would, although not proven, because it's only one instance, it would back up the theory that
Your life will
does
flash before your
Or at
eyes.
least,
Yeah.
or at least memories start flashing.
Right.
yeah.
Which is one of those things where it's like, okay, I guess that makes sense because a lot of people have said that it's happened, and
Yeah.
although there's no way to solidly prove it, but
Well,
that's
yeah.
until then it was not superstition.
Well, we only
but
have
it's
testimonies
just-
from people who have
Yeah.
been in like near death experiences.
Yeah, right.
Or
Yeah.
like
and then we have some kind of not 100% proof, but some evidence to indicate that the theory holds more weight.
Yeah. It's
We need to kill more people.
basically.
like right before they die, just like plug them out and just be like, quick, get on the CAT scan right now.
We need to edge more people, I think.
We need more human experimentation.
we need
Penultimate edge.
what's that? What's that
That's
fucking,
just edging with life,
what's
right?
that? What was that really shit movie where they literally edge their life? The concept.
Oh, that was
flatlining.
Flatlining.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
awful fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
With a
I never
supposedly
saw
really
that
flat
one.
line,
That
dude.
just sounded
Do
like a
stuff.
dumb horror movie. But no, like, yeah, I mean, like,
I wake up and I just saw Jesus.
yeah, I remember like going back to like the salt thing and just
You're not going to let this go.
no, because you just like talking about it just reminded me about the time where I kind of got an ulcer, I believe, and so like you've had a mouth ulcer before,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So how do you deal with it?
I put like ulcer cream on it.
Okay, what if you don't have ulcer cream? Like what did
I just don't try not to touch it
Toothpaste?
as much as I
Toothpaste?
can. Toothpaste?
I
toothpaste?
thought toothpaste works.
Is that a
Again,
superstition?
bullshit.
Okay, so like as a kid, my mum was just like, "Oh, just gargle salt water," or like,
I
or
believe that does have some. Because
If,
that's
if,
saline.
it's,
You're
an
making
if
a-
it's an inside the mouth.
You're making
yeah,
a
yeah,
saline
yeah.
solution.
It's,
kind of
it was like
in your
I would
mouth,
eat,
like-
I would always
I don't
either gargle salt water or gargle
These notes. Sorry.
Damn it! I wanted to say that.
Mouthwash.
Sorry.
I was about to say. I was legitimately right about to say it when you said it. I was like, "Fuck!"
How did we go from salt water to these
We
nuts?
have a million people who watch this podcast. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I would either like
We're a
gargle
disgrace.
salt water or mouthwash. And then one day, my ulcer was like so bad that the salt water wasn't doing anything, right?
Yeah.
So like, as like a teenager, I'm just like, what if instead of just doing salt water, which is basically just diluted salt, what if I just go straight to the source and just fucking pour salt in it, right? and that, I swear to God, that's so that's what I did. I just like got some like salts and just poured it all over this ulcer, and it stung like nobody's fucking business.
Right.
It stung like fucking hell, like burnt over in my mouth. But then it kind of numbs the wounds, and I remember waking up the next day, and it was a lot less painful. It started healing straight away. Now I don't know if there's any science behind this. I have Googled it, and I know like some other people do it as well. But there's no like I don't know if there's any back science behind it. But like after that, I started putting salt on my ulcer whenever I get a mouth ulcer, and it seemed to heal it faster.
I'm sure there is like some kind of science behind it, but
Yeah.
like I feel that's like probably the more extreme method of fixing. Like you basically just napalmed your mouth.
Yeah,
Could
so
be that the science says you're completely wrong, though.
yeah, it could be. So I remember one
It could
day,
also just be a coincidence
So I
that it
remember
just
one
healed
day,
that day.
one day, Connor just come in the office and complaining about a mouth ulcer, and I was like, I have the perfect solution. Just
Walks into the kitchen, comes back with salt.
Just pour a bunch of salt on it. It's easy, Connor. See, I do it all the time. I remember him coming in like the next day or something, and he was like, "Go on! Why did you literally just convince me to pour salt on a wound? That's all you done. Didn't help any."
It didn't. I remember it didn't help at all.
Really?
It just like it stopped the pain for like 2 hours in exchange for like one burst of immense pain.
Yeah.
But like it didn't do anything.
You basically just pre-ordered
I
pain.
think that Garnt would have healed naturally without the salt, and I think he just poured salt and happens to remember that it then went away as ulcers do.
You basically
go
just
away.
did like ulcer hardcore
Yeah,
mode.
this is, the
Like-
problem with, like, this is the problem with illnesses.
doesn't hurt enough.
Yeah.
Illnesses that go away.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, obviously in very serious illnesses, the pseudoscience is very harmful.
Yeah.
And very fucked up that people try and sell solutions that are like, you know, they'll be like, just take our herbs and your cancer will go away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
You're
that's
even
fucked.
telling people that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think the reason why with generic illnesses so many superstitions come about is because they go anyway on their own. And if you're doing shit and it happens to go away, your mind is like, aha, I was sick one time and then I played with my poop for 20 minutes in my hands like Play-Doh and it went away the next day. And it's like, well, no, that's that.
Now I've got 3 other illnesses.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. Well, I have cholera, but I did lose the flu. You know, it's like you can do things, anything.
Yeah.
Do it every single time you get sick with a generic illness that will go away anyway after 48 hours.
Yeah.
And then you'll remember that you did that thing and then it went away.
Yeah.
So this probably happened with like the vitamin C. You probably maybe have a little bit of placebo effect as well.
Yeah.
And then boom, it goes away. And you're like, well, it must be vitamin C because every
Yeah.
time I take vitamin C, my cold goes. As if you did nothing, your vitamin C wouldn't go away. But it's
Right.
not how it works. It would go away anyway.
But I want like an experiment of like, especially with the vitamin C thing, of
Yeah.
like catch a cold one time, do the vitamin C thing, and then
Yeah.
catch a cold a second time and don't do the vitamin C thing. Which one heals
you'd
faster?
need to do this like 100 times to get any data worth
Yeah.
considering.
Well, there's plenty of sick people today.
But then everyone's different. Right? You'd need the same person over and over. It puts it their whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
even then, it wouldn't matter because we could just like view the immune system anyway with the things that we do. We can.
I dedicated my whole life to see if oranges work during the flu. Turns out we don't know.
Yeah,
Science sucks because science is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
It takes a long time and people don't like that.
yeah.
And when everyone's
Unfortunately,
like, oh yeah, maybe we can make
they
it.
want results now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
It's like, yeah, maybe we can go to another planet in 200 years. It's like, oh shit, I'm not going to be around for that. So what's the
Yeah.
point? Might do it.
That's the problem. Back to humans are just so incapable of like really caring about things that happen in like the far future and like
Global warming.
Yeah.
Global
Yeah.
It's the reason why we're so shit with it.
Like, well, it's not going to affect me tomorrow, so it's fucking whatever. man.
yeah. I mean, like I mean, we've talked about something similar before, where like talking about just imagining 5 years in the future, or like where you're going to be 5 years or 10 years in the future.
Could you imagine what 2027 is going to be like? No.
Yeah.
Because everyone thought in 2012 that 2022 is like, yeah, flying cars, right?
I couldn't imagine being 30, and here I am for 31. Like, how the fuck did that happen? You know?
You're basically dead.
I'm basically dead.
I think it's the same with like exercise, right? Like I know exercise is good for me,
Yeah.
and I like it when I do it.
Yeah.
But I just can't visualize the benefits to my life. That's the
Exactly.
problem,
Yeah.
right?
That's
And
why
this-
it's so hard to maintain.
that's why it's so hard to keep it up. Even though I feel amazing when I do it, I normally
Yeah.
have so much energy. I feel great. I know and I can feel the immediate tangible benefits.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just can't convince myself long term that I
Yeah.
can visualize that, hey, when I'm 70, maybe I'll be a lot better off for it if I just put in the work now.
Even not even that. It's just like, you know,
50,
you could be
60,
like,
man.
you could be like working out, right? And like a week later, you'd look down on your body and be like, why do I still look exactly the same?
That sucks
Yeah.
as well, dude. That,
Like
that
it's
hurt.
it blows.
You get that
Yeah.
pump on,
Yeah.
you do it, you go hard, and you're like, why? But then
Yeah.
you eat like 2 weeks of McDonald's, and you're like, wow, nothing changed, amazing. Which you love it. You love that nothing changes, but then you get angry when it doesn't change.
Exactly.
We suck as humans.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what sucks, right? Is that if you want to gain weight fast or get ripped fast, you also have to accept the fact that maybe one binge drinking weekend
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
fuck your body to death.